I vividly remember when I was seeing the scene, and I said, Keri, you sound to me like you want to be Orthodox, which to me was like, you sound to me like you're losing your mind. And she's like, well, maybe that's where I'm headed. And in that moment, I thought, that's it, the marriage is over.
I was not really that observant, and you weren't.
Yeah.
But I had always dated Jewish. I mean, that was, we knew it was something we wanted to do. Like when we got engaged and went to register for dishes, I said to David, maybe we should try keeping kosher, which is
not
just,
okay with that.
And David said, no way. And I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, how do we bring Judaism into the home? And we went to synagogue a few times trying to find where did we fit in. And we really didn't find that until I think we had kids. When Levi was born, my father-in-law passed away. And my father-in-law used to go to shul every Shabbos, so my mother-in-law started to honor that tradition, started going regularly, and I started going with her. Certain things, when we became more observant, were easier maybe then, because it was really exciting. I think, we're now 10 years in, and it's still hard.
We moved really fast, probably too fast.
Well, part of the issue was we had young kids, so it was like, okay, if we do this now, they won't know any different.
Taking on a more religious lifestyle certainly poses a lot of new challenges for a family, and it's really where the rubber hits the road. It's really where you're put to the test. It's easy to say, okay, we're not going to drive on Shabbos, or we're not going to eat certain foods. But when the family says, hey, it's Passover is on Wednesday, we'd love for you to come over, and say, well, we can't, because we can't drive on Passover. It creates a lot of tension, because it's sort of this feeling of you choose between God or your family. So it's really perplexing for the non-observant Jew to get their head around it and to not take it personally or be hurt by it.
What made us decide to move back to University City from Olivet, which I don't know if that's ever been done, was at Sabra on Shabbos, all the kids would gather at the CIT bench. Mm-hmm. And all the kids were freshly showered, and I can't even describe the excitement in the air. I loved it. I didn't even know why. When we started spending time with people who were Shomer Shabbos, that was the vibe in New City. I mean, it felt like, I don't know, in some places like being in a shtetl.
And, we go to U City and we'd say, how can we not give this to our children?
I would feel incredibly disappointed
if they
did not grow up to be observant. But I also kind of have to let go of it and give them what we're giving them so they can be comfortable. But after if it doesn't resonate for them, if it's not theirs, that is just going to be how it is.
You know what I learned after my father died? How much of myself I modeled after him. My hope is that I could model for my kids meaningful spiritual Judaism.
So the greatest myths about Orthodoxy, that's a really good one. I guess.
Great question.
Yeah, that women are miserable. That women are home, they're miserable because they don't get, they're second class, they're not as important. That's not been our experience at all. And also feels judged. I think it's this, what the maybe non-religious person or non-observant person feels judged, or the Orthodox person might also feel that uncomfortableness, that vulnerability, that difference, but it's coming from a place of wanting connection.
I think also another myth, or at least a perception I had, is that Orthodox Judaism just looked miserable to me. I used to look at Orthodox Jews as, why would anyone do that to themselves? Deny themselves of all these things. And little did I know that, by denying yourself of those things, there's a whole other world of pleasure and joy on the other side.
So being Jewish for me, it's hard to summarize, because it's not just a religion, although it is. It's not just cultural, although it is cultural. It isn't racial, but it is, it's kind of the essence of everything, of who I am and where I came from and what I will be passing on.
Being Jewish is being authentic and loving myself. You know, one thing that we learned through our tradition that the Jew has a unique DNA. We have our own unique spiritual DNA, and a Jew can deny it. A Jew can convert and identify as something else, but in the end, a Jew is always a Jew, and it's unfortunate sometimes historically those who hate us remind us of that. When the Jew can love his or herself and embrace it, they ultimately become their authentic self.